Hi friends, it's Leslie with the Edic Family Homestead, and today I am doing another January recipe, and I am canning up some chili beans. I love having chili beans on hand, and once you've had the homemade canned ones, you cannot go back to store-bought. So the way I do mine is you soak your beans for 24 to 48 hours. You do a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I'll show you here a little bit later how I did that. Little apple cider vinegar, water, soak them, rinse them, and then I fill up a pot, place them in a pot, fill it back up, and I actually boil mine for 30 minutes. Some people don't, and they just take the dry beans. That works for them. If you have a hard time like with digestion with beans, I highly recommend doing it this way. It helps so much. Also with these chili beans, you can use any bean. Today I've got a white navy bean, just navy beans. I have done this with red beans, with black beans, navy beans, pinto beans. I've kind of mix them at times if I have like a little left of each kind. So today though I have navy beans. I just finished boiling them, so it's super hot. I'm gonna get mixing up our seasoning, and I've got my recipe card here. And let me see, I need 2 tablespoons of chili powder. And I like to mix this in the bowl first before I do my, place it in my jars. And then I have, oops, 2 teaspoons, not 2 tablespoons of cumin. Cumin or cumin, I don't know how you're supposed to say that. Let me know if you try this recipe down below. I am actually in a collaboration with Lynn from the Bucket List Homestead and Sean from She's in Her Element. So be sure to check out their channels as well. And I am almost out of my paprika here. So it is supposed to be 2 tablespoons, but this batch is going to be a little short on paprika. It's not a big deal. And then I've got my black pepper. Need a teaspoon of black pepper. These are super, super good. I've got ground coriander. And you don't have to be like super precise on the seasonings. Kind of do it the way you prefer. And crushed red pepper. And then I've got salt. Now the salt, this is for the seasoning. You're still gonna add salt, and I'll show you here in a minute. You're still gonna add extra salt to the jars. And I've got oregano. So super simple, just kind of mix it together. This batch here will do 8 pints. So I just mix, I give it a really thorough mix. Let me know down below in the comments if you try any of my January recipes, and if you are like participating in doing January yourself. So let me know. Okay, so now that it is all well mixed and well combined, you're going to take 1 tablespoon per pint jar. If you're doing quart jars, if you have a large family, you're going to want 2 tablespoons. And using my 4 jars funnel, I am going to place a tablespoon in my jar, and then I'm actually going to go through and put a tablespoon in each jar. Let's see here. I don't need the funnel for the seasonings necessarily, but I do need it for the beans and the liquid. So I just drop that in the bottom of the jar. And then I will have a little bit left because I'm only doing 6 pints today. So I will just put this in a jar and label it, and I'll use it for the next time. Okay, so now we are going to add our beans. And I like to put beans about 3/4 of the way up the jar. So let's get those in there. So about like that. About 3/4 of the way, or about there. On mine, they have numbers. We're at 300 here. So around there, and then taking a ladle, you're going to take that hot water and you're going to pour it over the beans to a 1-inch headspace. You're also going to remove the air bubbles, and then you want to add more salt. So it will be a 1/2 teaspoon per pint. And don't worry, they're not salty. And then I'm going to take my 4 jars lids. If you have not tried these, I highly recommend it. I will put my 10% off code down below. And ring. Just finger tight on those. And I like to give mine a little bit of a shake. Like that. And then they are going to go in the canner for 55 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. So I will show you that here shortly, and I'm just going to finish jarring the rest of these up. So the beans have soaked 24 hours, so I'm just going to drain them and put fresh water in here. I like to rinse them off before I put them back in the pan with fresh water. All right, so I am just gonna fill this up and give about 3 inches at least over top of the beans because I like to boil them for about 30 minutes. All right, I've got my pressure canner ready to go. The water is hot, and I'm gonna put a splash of just plain white vinegar because I don't like the white on my jars from hard water. And then here's what they look like. I like to give them a shake to distribute the seasonings evenly. And these are definitely hot. I am going to set them in. Just finger tight on those rings. And we are going to do 55 minutes. And I have my jar of water just so that they're not tipping in the center, because I don't have 7 pints or quarts in here. I like to put one in the center. Let me see if I can show you here. So I just set it in the center so that they're not, with the boiling and everything, so that they don't tip over. All right, I've got my lid. We're gonna place our lid. And once it starts to a steady stream of steam starts coming out right here, I will place my 10-pound weight and turn the timer on for 55 minutes. All right, I have my steady stream of steam. Try saying that 10 times fast. And I've got it at 10 pounds of pressure. Once it starts like that means it's to its pressure, and so I will start the timer for 55 minutes. So this is what I mean when it is to pressure. Sorry for the noise, I've got laundry going too. So I will set my little 4-jar timer here for 55 minutes. Okay, so the pressure canner has stopped, and once it is not making any noise like this, this is when I remove the weight to release the rest of the steam. Just like that. And then once, this is for this pressure canner, not all of them are like this. So once the steam is completely released, I will remove the jars. All right, now that there is no steam left in here, I'm gonna twist it. It's still pretty hot, so there we go. each in. Oh, they look so good. There they are. Now I will leave these sitting out and undisturbed for 24 hours. So tomorrow I'll just pull them out, wipe them down, label them and date them, and they will be ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you try it. And again, don't forget to follow my friends Lynn at the Bucket List Homestead and Sean at She's in Her Element. We're doing that January collaboration, so be sure to check out their videos as well. Thanks, and stay tuned for the next video.